Okay, class. So I don't know how to get my face back in the corner over here. However, it's fine. As long as you can hear my voice, we're good. So, we just talked about limiting factors in an ecosystem, and now we're going to talk about symbiotic relationships and how those relationships that might seem kind of funky have to go together in order to make things balance out in an ecosystem. Okay, so we are going to discuss interactions in an ecosystem, aka symbiotic relationships. And we're going to do our notes today, and then we're going to do some video case studies and a classification activity, perhaps tomorrow or Friday. It just depends. We'll see how things go. Let's look at the big picture here. Tell me what you remember about matter, aka stuff and energy. Now, here's a hint: it can never be blank or blank. Right. Well, if you guessed it correctly, you should have said it can never be created nor destroyed. Okay. So over a long period of time, matter is only transferred. It's not created or destroyed. It is just transferred between organisms as well as between organisms in their environment. As far as interactions go, how do organisms in an ecosystem actually interact? Well, organisms in an ecosystem interact with plants, animals, and their environment. Interactions can cause populations to either increase or decrease, and interactions can also cause the ecosystem to change, and that can be positively or negatively. Stability. What is a stable ecosystem? Well, a stable ecosystem is one in which the population and resources change in a predictable manner. It's not like an off the wall, oh, we have endangered species all of a sudden, or there's been a destruction of the habitat. It is changing in a predictable manner, and which is the way it should be, okay? In a stable ecosystem, there is a healthy balance between predator and prey. When you have too many predators, obviously the prey becomes scarce, and then the predators run out of food to eat and either die off or have to migrate into another area. Predation, which we discussed this a little bit in the first video for today. This is an interaction between predators and prey. So this is when the species um, predators, meaning these are the big scary animals, the predators eat prey. This healthy relationship, and it is very healthy regardless of what it seems like, balances the populations within an ecosystem. For an example, lions eating gazelles in a grassland regulate the number of gazelles in the grassland. So this is the thing. If there is an overage of gazelles eating grass in the grassland, obviously they're going to eat all of the grass. There'll be none for the gazelles and other animals to eat. Therefore, they're going to run out of food to eat. They're going to die off. So it's important that these relationships happen, and it's for the best or for the well-being of the ecosystem in a whole. The impact of predation. How does the predator slash prey relationship affect populations? Well, the number of prey in a population increases when the number of predators um, increase. If the number of predators decrease, the number of prey will actually increase. Okay, remember that relationship. Competition. What is competition? And we talked about this a little bit in the first video today. But when species within an ecosystem compete for the same resources, this is what competition is. These organisms are competing for food, water, or space. Okay, and if there's too much competition in an area, somebody's not going to survive. Okay. Now, let's talk about symbiotic relationships, which I did discuss with you a little bit earlier, which is basically the interactions of species within an environment or species with the environment. Symbiosis means living together in a close environment. Sim means same time, together. Okay? Bio means life. Now, which one means coexist? Is it synonym or an antonym? What is coexist as far as symbiosis what is coexist in relationship to symbiosis? Is it a synonym or an anonym? It is a synonym. Great job for you English people out there. Um, or you can just say it is cooperation. And cooperation or to cooperate means to work together towards a common end goal or purpose. Think about group work. When you're working together in a cooperative group, you all are all working together to reach one common end goal, and that is an A on your project or your assignment, right? Well, that's what you should be doing. Now, attack of killer fungi. Okay, cordyceps or planet Earth. So make note, in an organism benefiting, or is an organism benefiting, is an organism being harmed, and you connect this type of relationship to something you have already learned, okay? So we're going to watch this video, and I want you to think about these questions here, okay?
Incredibly, 80% of all insects live in jungles. Few are more successful than the ants. There can be 8 million individuals in a single hectare. But jungle ants don't have it all their own way. These bullet ants are showing some worrying symptoms. Spores from a parasitic fungus called cordyceps have infiltrated their bodies and their minds. Its infected brain directs this ant upwards. Then, utterly disorientated, it grips a stem with its mandibles. Those afflicted that are discovered by the workers are quickly taken away and dumped far away from the colony. It seems extreme, but this is the reason why. Like something out of science fiction, the fruiting body of the cordyceps erupts from the ant's head. It can take 3 weeks to grow, and when finished, the deadly spores will burst from its tip.
Ew.
Then, any ant in the vicinity will be in serious risk of death. The fungus is so virulent it can wipe out whole colonies of ants. And it's not just ants that fall victim to this killer. There are literally thousands of different types of cordyceps fungi, and remarkably, each specializes on just one species.
Gross.
But these attacks do have a positive effect on the jungle's diversity, since parasites like these stop any one group of animal getting the upper hand. The more numerous a species becomes, the more likely it will be attacked by its nemesis, a cordyceps fungus.
Okay, that was pretty gross, but moving on. Now, the 3 symbiotic relationships. A, mutualism. Both organisms benefit. Okay, so if there's mutualism, both organisms benefit. Positive, positive, plus, plus situation, win-win situation. You benefit, I benefit. Now, parasitism. This is when one organism benefits and another one is harmed. So remember when we watched that crazy show, The Monsters Inside, and the parasites were invading the body? Well, the bodies were being harmed, but the parasite was benefiting. Well, that is until there was treatment involved, but yes. Now, commensalism, okay, or commensalism. This is when one organism benefits and another is unaffected. Okay, so it's basically positive and then kind of like it doesn't bother the other person or the other organism at all. Now, this concludes your notes for today. And I want you all to understand and realize that you have covered two sets of notes in one class period. Again, you will not have time to work on this tomorrow or the day after, okay? So now I want you to work on your abiotic biotic worksheet. And when you are done with that, you can start studying for a quiz that you're going to have shortly. I'm going to say next Monday before we go on the field trip. And for third core, instead of you studying, I want you to work on your project. Okay. Have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye.